Sarah Fry went to my old high school. One day, she was driving home from Bear Lake one summer and got hit head-on by a drunk driver while she was in a car full of her and her friends. Most of her friends didn't have any life-threatening injuries. However, Sarah had to get her legs amputated from above the knee. She is now paralyzed from the hips down, meaning she's going to be spending the rest of her life in a wheelchair. She was only going into her senior year of high school, and her entire life has been completely altered due to someone's immature decision to not drink safely. In the United States, in 2021, there were 6,102,936 police-reported motor vehicle crashes, including 39,508 fatal crashes, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. In this public service announcement, I'm going to be covering the dangers of distracted driving and intoxicated driving. Texting and driving is one of the worst habits that drivers have. Almost everyone has seen someone using their cell phone while driving a car, and you've probably even been one of them. Society is overly dependent on our phones to the point where we can't even make it a short car ride without checking our notifications. According to Toscano, in 2023, 57% of U.S. adults considered themselves addicted to their cell phones. Even just glancing at your phone can put you and others on the road in a life-threatening situation. Yes, it's only for a second, but when you are driving, you are moving so fast that that's all a life-threatening crash can come from. Texting is the most alarming distraction. Sending or reading a text takes your eyes off the road for 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving the length of an entire football field with your eyes closed, as stated by National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. An example of a situation that was shared by staff in 2020 happened to a college student named Mitchell. Mitchell was 18 years old and a college student who was on his way to class. It was a perfect driving conditions day. However, another young driver on the road was distracted on his phone and going 80 miles per hour. He slammed into Mitchell. The young driver killed Mitchell due to something that could have been completely avoided. In fact, using a phone puts you at a higher risk of causing a serious accident than drinking and driving does. It is so easy to pull out your phone every time you drive, especially with the invention of self-driving cars. It's easy to get distracted. According to staff, you are 6 times more likely to be in a motor vehicle crash while driving if you're texting versus if you were intoxicated. More than 100,000 crashes a year involve drivers who are texting, causing life-changing injuries and deaths. 97% of teens have reported to knowing texting and driving is dangerous. However, 43% say that they still text and drive ignorant to the risks. Not only do teens personally admit to texting and driving, but 77% of teens admit to having seen their parents text and drive, and 75% say that it is common for them to see their friends text and drive. Texting or using your cell phone is dangerous, but it is not the only danger on the road that is completely preventable. Drinking and driving is another example. Not only does it risk the life of drunk drivers, but it is also a way that innocent people can have their life completely ruined. Drinking and driving crashes are more common than you may realize. According to Leonard, on average, 2 out of 3 people will be involved in a drunk driving crash in their lifetime. In the U.S. alone, someone is killed by a drunk driver every 45 minutes. Even though most people are mildly educated on the dangers of driving under the influence, they don't care and still risk theirs and other people's lives, which is causing these preventable deaths. According to Leonard, in 2013, 28.7 million people admitted to driving under the influence of alcohol. This is more than the entire population of Texas. Think about it. You don't like to admit when you did something wrong. So think about how many people have been intoxicated while driving and just never confess to it. The number should be way higher. 40% of drivers who drink alcohol admit to driving within 2 hours of having multiple drinks. On average, one person is killed on Wisconsin roadways every 2.9 hours. Not only that, but 24,000 people were convicted of drunken driving in 2015. 1 in 3 traffic deaths are due to drunken drivers on the road, and every 3.1 per 100,000 people will be in an alcohol-related motor vehicle death. Not only can you seriously injure someone or even kill them, but there are also legal consequences, including fines up to $100,000, imprisonment, charges of negligent homicide, and vehicle impoundment. Using a cell phone, eating, drinking, talking, grooming, reading maps, and even just adjusting the radio are all considered distracted driving habits. Driving intoxicated is considered dangerous when the blood alcohol level is 0.08 or higher. Statistics from 2010 and 2011 suggest that 1% of deaths come from drunk driving every year, and 7% come from distracted driving. You are 23 times more likely to crash while texting than not. 10% of injury-inducing crashes in 2011 were due to distracted driving. Every 48 minutes, someone dies due to a drunk driver. Even though both situations can be deadly, distracted driving has had a higher death rate and crash rate than drunk driving. Stay focused while driving. There is a lot of responsibility on every driver's hands. Overall, driving is an activity that most of us spend over an hour a day doing. Staying safe and avoiding preventable but life-threatening situations is everyone's responsibility when they decide to turn the key. Thank you so much for watching my public service announcement on the dangers of driving. Here is my bibliography and all the sources that I used for my video.